I'm Christen.
This is the We Share Needles podcast.
I guess, maybe.
3 months later.
Sometimes.
In the future. It's been a long, long time.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy
couple
holidays. Happy... What's happened? Happy Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year. And Martin Luther King Day today.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Thanks, Martin, for the day off work.
Thanks, Martin. I think people called him Marty. Marty.
Oh, Marty.
And nobody called him Martin.
There's no way. Did they?
Now just think about the show Martin.
What show?
Wasn't there a show called Martin?
Was it about Martin Luther King?
No. It was about a comedian.
Oh, I don't know that one. Not familiar
anyway.
with that.
Not the same guy.
So, we're a podcast.
Mostly about knitting. Sometimes we're a podcast.
Yeah, sometimes we podcast.
Sometimes
We're two best friends who live in Central Arkansas. We knit, we crochet, we do other crafts, we read a lot, and then we talk to you guys about it. We also buy a lot of stuff, so we usually have a lot of that to show you.
And we're sent stuff sometimes, which is
cool. Which is really fun.
That.
And it's been 3 months for a lot of reasons, and we usually talk about our personal life at the end. So if you care why it's been 3 months, we'll probably talk about it at the end. And now, are you knitting something while we pod?
Yeah.
Me too.
That's what we do. We talk about this. First, what are you knitting, friend?
I'm knitting my blanket. Are you ready? Because I'm not a blanket knitter. I've wanted to be a blanket knitter for my whole entire life. And this is a scrappy blanket I'm doing. It's garter stitch with fingering weight scraps held double. I made magic knot cakes. I have 2 more of these. So I'm just like knitting forever and ever.
Oh my gosh, it's so big.
It's huge.
That's fully a baby blanket.
It's over halfway. It's a me blanket though. It's going to be for me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make it 60 inches long, which is really long, but it's more than half of that right now. And I love it. It feels so good. It's just like squishy garter. I did an I-cord cast on and I'm doing I-cord edges. That way I don't have to go back and apply anything. So I'll just have to do a really insane I-cord bind off at the end. But this blanket has been in the works for like 2 years and I've been keeping it by my desk that I work from home from sometimes. And I'll just like pick it up and knit while I'm like in Zoom meetings or like while things are slow, and I've made a ton of progress on it that way. So, wow. I could just bind it off and it could be a baby blanket, but I'm gonna keep
or like a little cozy blanket.
Yeah, a lap blanket, but that's not what I want. I want to throw.
Yeah,
so,
and you have so much yarn left.
So much. Like I have 2 more of these made, and I have scraps to make 17 more blankets. So that's what I'm knitting on, and it's all superwash merino. Sock yarn, merino nylon. Yeah, there's a little sparkle in there. There's
mohair somewhere.
Yeah, there's mohair in one of my other balls. I haven't used that, and I'll probably cut it out because now that I'm thinking about that, like mohair washes so differently, I don't want to include that. But yeah, it's fun. When I look at it, I kind of remember the socks. Like down here, the very beginning, all the reds I knit for my husband. This like green and yellow section, that's a pair of socks I knit for my brother Nick. This section are socks I knit for my dad, like, and so it's just memories. It's fun, and I love knitting on it. So that's what I'm knitting on. What are you knitting on? I'm
knitting on my Radvent cardigan from this year, or from 2024, I should say. Sorry, hairs everywhere. And I'm still on the first sleeve, but I've already split for the body, so I don't really know how this goes. But I'm on like the 11th color, 10th color, something like that. So I'm almost ready to start the other side, and I really want to finish it this month, and I don't think I will, but I'm going to try.
You might,
I'm going to try my best. So yeah, this is the Barnyard Knits Advent, the gingerbread one. She did a couple this year, and it's really, really fun. Super bright. And I'm actually not going completely in order because she started this thing where she's done like a variegated, a tonal, a variegated, a tonal, a variegated, a tonal, and then she just gave up on it around here, and I was like, well, I'm gonna continue that, so I switched a couple colors. But so it doesn't really matter, but
yeah, I would have done that
it
too.
Is what it
just
is.
For the vibes.
Yeah, I didn't like a bunch of tonals together and then a random variegated. I like it like this. So
yeah, that's pretty.
It's definitely interesting. And then the other side's gonna be completely different. You know, there's no cohesiveness to this Advent, which is I was going for a cohesive one though. I was looking for one, and I thought this one would be, but you know, it didn't have a lot of information, and I just kind of went off the vibes of her last ones, and I was like, yeah. I didn't get the Advent that I wanted, is the thing. It sold out too quickly.
Gotcha.
So I was like, another gingerbread house Advent.
Yeah.
And then, so here we are.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. And I've got pretty much and I sized up this year because my last one was, lick me. Do it.
I don't know where your hand's been.
You know where it's been. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be knitting on. It is knits and purls right now since I'm knitting back and forth, which...
Boo, tomato, tomato.
I'll give it away. I mean, I'll give it away. I'll put it down eventually.
Yeah, give up on it.
Yeah, I'll give up on it about halfway through the podcast, for sure.
Hysterical. Mine's
so,
just knit.
Yeah. Are you wearing any knitting?
I have socks.
Yay! Oh, those are pretty.
These are Knit Picks Hawthorne. I don't remember the colorway. And then the heel toe cuff is
Croy?
Patton's Croy.
Yeah! You can tell it's Croy. You know I hate Croy.
Yeah, I made them forever ago. And I think they're the book stash socks. I think I test that pattern. But I really love them. They're comfy.
I like them too.
Are you wearing any knitting?
Nope. And I should be because it's cold.
Yeah.
But I'm not wearing my socks right now. I've got almost every single pair of my socks is dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all in a bag and I need to wash them. And since nobody's home, I can do that.
Yes, it's laundry day.
Mm-hmm.
I have laundry going at my house and a repairman fixing a toilet. So I'm going to go home and finish laundry after this.
My dog barking.
Oh, dog.
Reminiscent of the old times, right?
Aww, the old days.
Let's see. What else do we do after that?
Finished objects.
Finished
Dive
objects.
in. I don't have anything in person that I finished, so but I made a list and then I sent you pictures already.
Cool.
So if you want to show the stuff you have, or I'll talk through knitting. I'm sure I finished more than this, but I've been through the ringer the last 3 months. So these are my most recent finished objects and the ones I'm going to talk about. I made 17 Christmas ornaments for a gift exchange at work.
And how many pictures do you have, Maddie?
I have one picture of 2 ornaments, and that's it. That's all I got. But I did make all 17. We do a stocking exchange at work, so you just put like a little something, like a piece of candy, a scratch off in everybody's stocking. And I'm a chronic overachiever with the desire to one-up everyone, so I did a hand-knit ornament for everyone in my office, and they loved them. They were a huge hit. So I did finish those. She will insert a picture of the 2 that I've sent.
Bam, there they are.
But they were all different colors, all different textures, and kind of everybody got one that was kind of their vibe, and they're very fun. And then I also knit a pair of Christmas socks for my brother Malachi. My family does like Christmas drawings, so we only get gifts for one person. And I had his name, so I knit him a pair of Christmas socks. I don't have that pair of socks with me, but it is this yarn because I am knitting a matching pair for his wife and baby.
Cute!
So this is the one I have going for...
Is it Urth Uneek?
It is Urth Uneek. And I've got this going. That's for Daisha. And then I have a little tiny start of one for Addie for the baby. So Malachi got his finished pair at Christmas, and these they will have for next year because it didn't happen. But yeah, very cute. I'll show more of those in the whip section. And then I knit my dad a hat. I went to visit my brother in Arizona for his birthday back in November, and so my plain knitting to and from there was a green Musselburgh hat, and so it's in my rivalry. It's Arizona Musselburgh, that's why it's called that. But I gifted that to my dad, and he's worn it every day on his little cold bald head. So, and I had breakfast with him this morning, and he was like, "This is the best hat I've ever had. It's so good," and it was really sweet. It made me happy. So now everyone in my family has received a Musselburgh from me, and they'll keep getting more. But yep, those are the main things. The 19 things that I finished. The ornaments don't. I mean, it doesn't feel like 17 things, but it was.
It is 17 things.
Yeah. I'm sure there was more. I'm also so sure that I did not keep up with Ravelry adequately last year because we were talking about our 2024 like knitting wrapped, and my Ravelry says I finished 21 things. Now that would be 21 things plus 16 because I put all the Christmas ornaments together.
In one.
Yeah. So that would be what, 38?
That's still
36?
so low for you.
That's not how many things I knit. Like I just looked at the socks and I know I knit like at least 20 pairs of socks, probably more. So New Year's resolution, I'll try and be better at Ravelry, but it might not happen. I'm hoping it does happen though.
You're technically like a really organized person when it matters.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't really matter to you.
Yeah. I last year was a really hard year. Mm-hmm. And so tracking my knitting just fell by the wayside. I did track my books though, so we'll talk about that later. What have you finished?
It makes you feel like maybe like there should be a better way of tracking the knitting, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I've tried like
so hard.
I've tried a spreadsheet. I feel like Ravelry is the easiest because like you start your little project page, you plug all the info in, and then you just hit done when you're done, and it's done. And like I'm not going to be the type of person who has like elaborate notes and everything because I just wing stuff. I just make shit up. I don't follow patterns usually. And when I do, I just use it as like a jumping off point. So my project pages are never going to be like knitting Addie's where you could read her project page and knit exactly what she knit. That's not going to happen for me.
You should do is start a hashtag for your stuff, because when you do stuff like this, like people have been inspired and are knitting this.
Yeah.
And they just kind of like mention you in the comment. Instead of, you could have like a little hashtag for your blanket.
That's true.
And like,
I also think maybe instead of trying to be better at Ravelry, I will try and be better about posting every finished object on Instagram.
And at least you'll have a picture.
Yeah.
And that's all I care about. Because
Exactly.
I'll figure out everything else.
I might just try and do that. I don't know that I've finished anything yet this year. And I did finish that Musselburgh. But I might just try and post. We'll see. It might not happen. You can just go watch all of last year's podcast and you'll figure out what I knit.
Mine is our 3-month dark period. But that's okay. So what I finished, where's my notebook? I just took
You
notes.
have 4 of them.
I know. Sorry. My notebook girly. Let's look. Did I do it in this one? Is this where I did it? Yes.
Yeah, that's where you did it, Buster says.
Buster! Be quiet! He's losing his damn mind. Okay, so, going along with things that we've knit last year. I knit 3 Christmas stockings.
That's incredible.
In December. They were worsted weight, so they went really quickly, and I did have a snafu with one of them, so I didn't even get a finished object picture of them. Here's one picture that has 2 of the stockings in it. It's not even detailed pictures. The 3rd stocking, I decided to do like 3-strand color work, but the 3 strands were really far apart, so my floats got really wonky. And I was like, oh, okay, it's like really tight and weird, and so I decided I just cut the floats for the green yarn, and it was gonna be fine. I just knew it was gonna be fine. It was not fine. It shrunk up, started falling apart at the tree. I was like, so I just put my needle in about 12 rows down and frogged that part. And I was running out of yarn too, because they didn't have enough red. Just so you know, with 3 skeins of yarn and 3 colors, if you're frugal with it, you can get 3 stockings. 3 100-gram skeins of Berocco is what I use. And I
That's
got 3.
incredible.
Pretty good, yeah. The red was the only one I didn't have extra of. I had extra green and extra white, so I didn't have to be that frugal with it. But I still have a full skein, basically, of a green and a white now. But 0 red. I used every gram.
1 skein each got you 3 stockings. You only used 1/3 of a skein per stocking, or less than that. Oh wow, that's awesome.
Now I did fudge my colors a little bit, because I did it like it. I would have had to use more of the white and more of the red than necessary. So I just replaced it with green to make it make sense,
make it more balanced. Yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah, so yeah, and then I did 4 stockings total, but one I did 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah,
maybe a year ago. I don't remember.
I should just do the worsted, because my fingering ones ain't happening.
It's so easy. They're so quick. The only thing is they don't have the patterns that you're gonna want.
Yeah.
They do have the truck. I did the truck with the tree in the back. It was cute. They didn't have a house. I think one of yours was a chalet, right?
That was mine, but I could change it.
So I did those. And then I did a coffee cozy for your mom for Christmas,
Cute.
which I just gave her this morning. There it is. Boom. And it's really cute. It has a little K on it. And it's for iced coffee cups. It's for like an iced coffee cozy.
That's so sweet. She'll love that.
But she drinks hot coffee mostly. I always saw her come in with an iced coffee, but when I went to Seven Brew, which is our coffee shop, and she goes there most often. And I asked them, I put in her phone number. Said, what does she get most often? And they said either a hot latte or a hot coffee, no sugar. And I was like,
that is so new, because her order that I know
28 times hot coffee,
the
and 28 times hot latte, even. And that was it. They said the last 50 something orders were hot.
That has changed
no
so drastically,
sugar.
because it used to absolutely be an iced house blend with 1 cream and a half a scoop of either vanilla or peppermint or something. It has always been cold because she uses her little Java socks. Like,
that's so funny.
So
and that's how I remember too.
Cold. Like,
I remember
it
it always being cold, but she hasn't brought one in a long time. It's always been her normal cups.
Yeah, she must have just. Wow.
That's so funny.
Wow. And some of that hot coffee is going to be my granddaddy, because if she goes with my granddaddy, she's getting for that. And if my dad ever goes, the hot latte might be him.
Look what I did. Silliness. Anyway.
Crazy. That's crazy. My mom is a cold coffee girl. That's wild.
Yep. She's gotten hot ones. So that's just, I was like, okay, whatever. So I put my cozy on it and just gave it to her.
Perfect.
I am silly.
Do you need help?
No, I think I can do it. I just don't want to. Might cut this part out so that I don't be boring. But yeah, let me just slide my needles back in here.
I'm gonna take a sip.
Sippy. That was not that hard. Remember, that used to be so daunting to me. I'd be freaking out handing it to you.
Yeah, it'd be terrible. You'd throw it across the room.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get more situated. Ugh. Okay. Other things I finished.
Sorry, we took a break to make out.
Yeah. With my coffee and sausage breath. I finished another emotional support chicken, which should have been finished forever ago. All I had to do was steam and stuff it, but I didn't have stuffing. I couldn't find my stuffing. Couldn't find your stuffing.
Yeah, mine's missing.
And so I think you gave all your stuffing to Jana.
I must have.
Jana has a huge box of stuffing, and so she had to go get it from her storage, and I stuffed that chicken.
I love it.
And so it's cute. Here's a picture of it with my baby. And I gave it to Blake for Christmas. So, and she loves it. It's cute. My sister loves it too. Then I finished, all my Musselburghs. I took a picture that's on my Instagram. Here it is. I had a goal last year to knit all 12 of the Musselburghs. There's 24 colors. They're all Kimber's Cozy Creations, and they're all they're two minis, basically. Yeah. 1 half and half minis, and they're so cute. And so here's the picture. It's really cute.
It's amazing.
And by the time I finished it, they were way too small for my baby. So, and my sister hates them, so she's not gonna want them. I know.
What do you mean?
She doesn't like. Brittany thinks that they look like a old drunk man's hat. And her baby has such beautiful hair. She never wants to cover it up. So she said, nope, she'll have a bow. And I'm like, what if she's cold? She's like, I don't care. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
You're crazy. So I have 12 of these hats, and I don't know what to do with them.
We hope somebody else has a baby.
Yeah, well, my sister's husband's cousin is pregnant with a girl. So
she might get 12 hats. Yeah.
And they fit up to like a size, like a 6-month-old.
Yeah.
If
you get them early,
has a
perfect.
normal head.
Yeah.
You know? So I finished them. And then I finished this Ruffle Romper, which is on my Make 9. Where is it? There it is. It's so cute. It's by Pernille Larson. I used Woolly Mama yarns for the main body, and then that bright turquoisey color is Teeny Button, I think.
I believe so, from Arkansas Yarn Co., right?
I don't know what I did with that little piece of it.
Your little snap.
I know. It's kind of hard to undo, so I just leave it done until I have to put it on her.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Did you guys see the little star on the snap? It's really good.
Cute. Yeah, and then I got the circle ones down here so they don't stab her in the crotch.
That'd be so funny.
Because they're kind of pointy. Yeah. So, that was on my Make 9. It's super cute. I have so much
Your texture's really good.
Of the blue left. So I wanted to knit a smaller one, if I can, for Blake.
Yeah.
And then they'll match. But we'll see how quickly that goes. Because the ruffle always takes me forever.
Yeah.
The body of it never takes that long.
I want to knit another one of these now.
They're so fun. And look how cute Addie would be in summer wearing one. You could do like the little watermelon one like I did for my cousin's baby.
Oh, I'm going to cast that on. I was trying to think about something pink to cast on for Valentine's Day. So obviously for Addie.
It's adorable.
Yeah, in one of my little Valentine's bags. I could just knit her a little romper. How old will she be? She'll be nearly a year. Well, she'll be 9 months.
8 months, 9 months.
When it starts to warm up.
But for Valentine's Day...
Yeah.
She'll just be her
she'll
little
be a year when
set.
it warms up. Yeah, she'll be...
You can do a long-sleeved one.
That's true. But they could just put sleeves under it, and then it would be more versatile.
True.
Anyway, I'm going to knit one of these. I just decided. That's really cute.
The last thing I did was this Copycat Beanie. Here she is.
Copycat CC Beanie.
Copycat CC Beanie. It's a free pattern on my Ravelry. I don't remember who the pattern maker is. I will say that every single time I've knit this pattern, this is my 3rd one, I tell myself, knit a little bit more in the top before you bind off, because they're always a little short. And this one fits my baby really well, but like a little bit penis hatty, you know?
Oh my god.
Like, I like it to cover the whole ear. Like, that's where my hat should cover, right?
Yeah, no, I want them to be longer, too.
Yeah, so,
and I've knit that pattern a couple of times, and I've always added more.
Yeah, I need to add more in the top, but when I'm knitting it, I'm like, no, this looks plenty long. This looks plenty long, so I'll just do it to pattern. Everybody knows what they're talking about. I made gauge, not a problem. And then I've messed up 3 hats. So, that is what I've finished since we last podcasted. That I can remember.
Yeah. There you go. Now we got some whips. Jump right into that.
Yeah, sure.
I love it. Let's do it.
Whippies.
Whip them out.
Whippy.
We already talked about what we're currently knitting. So our blanket and our sweater. I've got lots of other stuff. I grabbed every bag that seemed to have knitting in it. I did hiccup frog 2 things when I got here because I looked at them and I was like, oh, I don't want to knit that anymore. But I'll start powering through some.
Oh, I love your bags.
Thanks, it's a good variety.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good. I found this sock, and these are Georgia socks. And this yarn,
it's beautiful.
Who sent this? Melissa sent this to me. I'm 99%
Polka
sure.
Dot Creek yarn.
Yes, it's Polka Dot Creek yarn.
That's yes, that would be.
Okay, so I started these Georgias ages ago. This one just needs to cut and heal, and this is just barely started. But they were tucked in a basket in my office, so found those.
You did twisted ribbon everything.
Yeah, I always do with the Georgias.
Oh,
I really do
really?
like the twisted with it. And I love the Georgia sock pattern. It's by Tracy of the Grocery Girls. Right? Tracy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, really, really cute, right? So I just need to cut in a heel and then knit one more sock. Those could be done so fast, and I'm trying to get some mojo back.
Like you could literally do those today.
Oh yeah, they could be. I've knit 2 Georgias in one day before.
You have to call those your Martin Luther socks.
Oh, they could be. Thank you, Martin.
Thanks, Marty.
I'm gonna call them my Marty socks. My Marty socks. Hysterical. I'm dragging my big tote closer so I can throw stuff right in it. So there's those. They're not even on Ravelry. I need to add all of this to Ravelry to start my New Year's resolution. Another pair of socks. That's true. Another pair of socks here. I started these ages ago, and in the cake, I thought that these might be for my brother. And then as I've knit them, they're not.
Ben, right?
Yeah.
You're like Ben, and I was like,
no. So
he's your least gay brother.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, they're just very. I don't even remember. I think the color was called Klaus. That's Night Owl fibers.
I feel like one of my cats just pooped in here.
I smell like one of your cats just pooped in here. So 1 sock done. 64 stitches on a US 1, 2.25 needle. I do 20 rows of the 2x2 ribbing when it's striping. I kind of give or take 20 rows. I just go until it's about 2 inches long, and then when a color changes, and then I start the body. I always do my self striping based on the yarn. So then I knit the body until it's roughly 60 rows, but again, start the heel at a color change and then down to the foot that way. And then the second one is mid heel. So these also, that's 1 day of knitting to finish a heel and do a foot, and I could have those done.
You could have 2 pairs of socks done today, really.
Yeah, I could if I felt like it. I won't. No, my friend Haley, she has to work today, and her son is at her office with her. So when we're finished, I'm gonna go get him and hang out with him. That way, she can actually get something done.
I was like, is that allowed? Or they
oh yeah, it's totally allowed. But she's like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
It's just not productive working with a kid, you know.
Yes, I do.
So he goes sometimes just because he wants to, and some like she works at a tow yard, so that when they're busy or not busy, the drivers like take him around in the tow trucks, and he has a great time. But he's bored today, so I'm gonna go hang with him. So I will not be knitting 2 whole socks today. I'll be playing card games with a 7-year-old all day. And I'm excited. But anyway, I want to finish these soon. I don't know who they're going to go to. I might keep them. They might just go to Buddy. Buddy wears the heck out of his knit socks, and he would wear some gay socks.
He would.
They're not gay. They're Klaus, whatever the fuck that means.
He loves Klaus.
Yeah, I heard Klaus. And Buddy was my husband. Buddy was just raving to me yesterday about how much he loves all of his knit socks even more now because he can wear them at work, because he never really wore boots outside of the army before, and those had to be uniform socks. So now that he wears work boots every day, they're like the perfect work boot sock for him.
We love it.
So that's cool. Then I kind of showed these Christmas. I guess I'm just doing all of mine, and then you can go after.
Yeah.
These
I should be knitting.
I said were the Urth Uneek yarn. Again, 64 stitches, US 1, 2.25 needle. For my sister-in-law, Daisha, I go until her total foot is 9 inches, I think. So I'll go to 7.25. Yeah, 7.25 inches, and then I'll start the toe from down here. So that's kind of my numbers. And I'll measure the first one, and then I'll just count the stitches, like the rows, to make sure they match on the second. And that's why I have like light bulb markers, is I'll kind of count. But again, this is stripes. So for the leg, I think I did 11 stripes, and then I started the heel. I love this yarn. It's so vibrant. It's so fun. I'm really enjoying it. And then for the baby ones, I need to look at my notes from the past and see, because these will be for next year when she is 1.5 years. So I believe I cast on 44, and I was just going to do 2x2 ribbing the whole way to the heel, and then do the heel and the foot and like ribbing across the top. So it's a very stretchy sock, but I need to just double check and make sure that 44
Use
stitches.
JJ's foot.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Is I was gonna see what stitch count you use for her or would use.
I use 48, but I'm a tighter knitter.
Yeah.
And so my 44 will be plenty good.
Like, would that
you
fit
can
her?
just stick that on JJ's foot sometime and you'll know for sure.
Yeah. So I'll finish Dacia's first and then I'll circle back to this. I have to sneeze. Goodness. So anyway, I'll give those as soon as they're done. They'll just have them so they have a little matching set next year. Because Malachi and Dacia wear their matching Christmas socks that I knit them when I knit the 17 pairs of Christmas socks for my family 3 years ago. They all wear those all the time. So they get another with a baby. 2 more things here. Oh, 3 actually. Another whip that I just have a picture of is my West Knits Go-Go Dynamo shawl. There are the pictures. I thought I grabbed it and I didn't. I have not touched it since the end of October. I did not finish it on time, and then November was a rough month for me, so I didn't knit hardly at all. Except I literally think I just knit that Musselburgh in November that I gave to my dad. But I want to pick that shawl up and keep knitting it because it's really pretty and I adore my yarn. So I'm gonna get back to that. Another thing that I started, I think I started this in November and then didn't touch it again. My Christmas stockings, which now I'm really fearing that I'm just gonna switch to a worsted, or I might even find a DK stocking pattern where I could hold this yarn double.
I would just do the worsted pattern with your DK.
Yeah.
Your gauge would be okay.
It would work, yeah. Because I just haven't been knitting this, and Christen's went so fast and I'm envious. So actually I just decided I'm gonna frog this right now. I'm gonna switch my stockings because I've thought about them for 2 years and just never done them. And I think this is a Musselburgh needle and I want that back. Oh no, it's a 3, it's not. Frogging this. It's in a really cute bag from my mom, Kelly. Love it. And I'm gonna figure out what pattern to do. So if you have suggestions, but I'll probably just do the stockings Christen knit. And maybe Buddy and I will have stockings next year.
Woohoo!
Maybe. And then last thing I have with me is a brand new cast on. I love this. I cast this on last week. We had snow, or week before last, and this was kind of my snow day cast on. And I bought this yarn at the yarn crawl like 3 years ago, and it is Dragon Horde yarn in the colorway Windy Boy.
I already forgot about that.
Right? And
I was literally there when you wound it up and I don't remember it.
Gorgeous.
It is so pretty.
And this is going to be my V-neck boxy by Hoagie Locatelli. So I've started. It, of course, is a V-neck, so it's lots of back and forth knitting and purling for a little while. And it has this really cute ridge detail where there's like texture on this part of the arm at the very beginning while it goes into the V-neck. So I'm in the ridges now, and it is so pretty. But yeah, I'm trucking along on this, and I'm very excited to have it, and it just feels so good.
Squishy and good, soft. Oh my goodness.
Because it's gartery right now.
It does have like a lot of ridges.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm really enjoying it, and now I'm just doing stockinette for another like 5 inches or something, and then I'll join the V-neck. So I have that in a Barley Pearls bag. This is one of my favorite Barley Pearls bags that they've ever made me, and it's the Books one. And that, my friends, is all the whips that I'm aware of. Christen's turn.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of whips that I'm not going to show because I haven't touched them. Literally the only thing that I've been working on is this Radvent cardigan. But I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other whips that are just, they're going to get done. I'm not going to frog them or anything, but it's just taking a lot longer. And I want to do this more. And then I had to make 9 and none of my whips are on it. So I have my brioche mode, which is in green and purple, and it's in that bag over there. I'll hang on my window. And it's
that somewhere too.
So squishy and so nice. And I'm maybe a third of the way done with it right now. So I need to work on it because I like it, and my needles are in there, and they're, you know, needed needles necessary. I just keep buying more needles. I have my Geo Gradient, which is 2 years back. Stephen West shawl along, the mystery shawl, and I really like that too. And I'm 2/3 of the way done with that. I only have a third left, and I need to finish it. And then and that's in Kimber's Cozy Creations, and it's really pretty, and I like it. And I really do want to knit that one that you're knitting. The
Go-Go Dynamo.
Yeah, the Go-Go Dynamo, yeah. I want to knit that one as well. Then I have my Bitten Mitten Advent from last year. I'm doing crochet granny squares. I've got 7 of them done, I think. So I need to finish a lot more of those. And then I'm going to make either a blanket or a cardigan. I haven't decided. Based on shaping, I think I'm going to do a cardigan, but we'll see. Like a big, oversized, just fun cardigan. Then I have my twist cardigan, which was also from last year's Advent, and I am nowhere near finished. I think I'm only like 3 colors in, and it is really pretty. It is, I think that's an Ambah Obrien pattern, and it was using the Pretty Twisted Yarns Advent that I got last year. I really just don't have a lot of knitting time. It's just, I just don't.
Yeah.
My baby is almost 2. She'll be 2 in April.
Oh my God, crazy.
She's really, really needy. And I just don't have a lot of time to knit. So the only time I knit was when she goes to sleep. And then I'm tired. So I usually want to go to sleep too. Then I have obviously my Radvent cardigan and my Spruced up socks, which I thought I brought onto the bed, but I guess I didn't. So those are a pattern by Leah Loves to Knit. It's so cute. I love this pattern and I wanted to knit it for Christmas so bad. I started knitting it. It has a Latvian braid at the top and I picked the wrong colors.
Oh man.
And so I didn't like it and I know I want to rip back, but I don't want to deal with the fiddliness of ripping back a Latvian braid right now.
Oh,
because
that's
it's
a lot,
already
yeah.
so tangled. So I just put it to the side and I'm like, I'll knit it when I want to address that, which will be, it will be randomly probably in like July.
Yeah,
but
literally.
then when it comes to Christmas time, I'll have it. So they're a really cute pattern. There's the picture. I like it a lot. But that's it as far as my knitting goes. I did make a make 9 this year. I have lots of plans. I want to knit a bunch of sweaters and stuff for my baby because first of all, they're so quick. And so
I want to
fun.
talk about your make 9 because I want to make a make 9 and I haven't sat down to think about it yet other than finishing this blanket.
Yeah. Well, you could do a whip 9 or whip, whatever it is. Whip down 9.
Mine will be a combo. It'll be whips and
yeah. So I have I think 3 cardigans for JJ on there that are super cute. That I'm obsessed with. They're just like textured. Like I think there's some like faux cables and like one of them's actually in fisherman's rib, which I don't think you love, right? That's
I love fisherman's rib.
Okay. And it's like a.
I prefer brioche because I feel like if you're going for
might
that
as well
look, you
just
might as
go-
well just do brioche.
The pattern was just written for fisherman's rib and it's in pieces, so I don't even like seaming. So I might hate it, but I already bought the pattern and I like how it looks. So
we like to try things we hate sometimes,
especially
just
in small sizes,
to remind ourselves why we hate it, or learn that maybe it's not that bad.
Yeah, or maybe we're just being little bitches.
We are being little bitches,
Sometimes.
but I'm allowed to be a little bitch about my hobbies.
Yeah, true, exactly. It's our hobby. We can do what we want. But yeah, so there's, I think I have a couple things from last year on it. I have the flowers cardigan, whatever that was. What is that thing called? The one with like it's like mosaic knitting and there's like flowers.
Pressed flowers.
Because
I started
cardigan.
and frogged that. Yeah.
Yes. I got the pressed flowers cardigan on there. I have the yarn for it.
What did I do with that yarn?
I think you reknit it into something else. It was a blanket for Addie. It's purple.
Was that my pressed flowers? I thought, okay.
Because you were gonna knit that, yeah.
Okay.
Because it was yarn from Rich Mountain Fibers.
Yep. You're right. You're right.
Good memory.
You're a genius.
Thank you. I can't count to 9, but you know.
We all have our talents.
Yeah, and then I don't remember what else was on there. I think, that's kind of it. I also have like monthly goals. This is my bullet journal. I have monthly goals for knitting and life and reading and all that. And so I think my knitting ones were to photograph my stockings, which I didn't do, and they're already away. Organize my yarn stash. You can see how well that's going. Finish my Radvent. I'm going to try my darndest. I need to knit socks for JJ, hat for JJ, and a romper for Blake. And I've done none of it, so.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to make some goals. I might go buy a new journal.
You want to put your romper.
Yeah.
For sure. You're going to knit the baby a romper.
Maybe.
On your make 9.
Maybe.
You don't want to knit her one? You just said you wanted to knit one.
I do want to knit her one. I just don't know if that's going to go on my make 9. It's not like I'm only going to make 9 things.
Well, that's mine is like, I need to make those things. You know, those 9 things. I really want to make those.
I feel like my make 9 needs to be stuff that's like either a big project, like finishing this blanket will be one, or like a challenging project.
Right, like socks for your whole family.
Yeah, or the MCAL shawl.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
I didn't even put that on there, and I should have. Oh, I put the Tulsa tee on there because that's the Arkansas Yarn Crawl tee, and you don't like it, but I'm gonna knit it.
I'm not gonna knit that.
I'm knitting it.
I'll knit a different tee, and I'll not match, or just not be in the photo, and I just don't care.
Yeah, I like that tee. I've always thought it was kind of cute. It is DK, and so, well, the one I picked is.
Yeah,
There's a fingering weight version. So yeah.
I'll look at it. Maybe I will knit it. Who knows?
You know, like,
I haven't really looked.
easy.
I don't even remember what it looks like.
It'll take no time at all.
Yeah.
Okay, acquisitions?
Yeah. I don't have a ton. I know I've acquired more things. I've also been acquiring camping stuff like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like me and the Yeti product were like this.
Camping? A craft.
Yeah.
Have you seen, what is it? Shitty Crafts Club?
Mm-mm.
She just makes up things that are crafts. She's like drinking a whole bottle of water.
A craft.
Yeah.
I love that.
So camping, a craft.
Camping is a craft. I've been acquiring things for that. But I only brought 2 things because I don't remember. I know I bought that Christmas yarn that I've already showed that I knit for Malachi Foundation and Addie. That was an acquisition. I also, at the same time, Urth Uneek had these little mini sets for kids. And it's sock weight, the 75-25, but it's only 60 grams total, so 2 30-gram cakes. Look how cute! So I bought that to knit for Addie, my niece. And look at the little picture. Those are so cute. I'm gonna knit those for her. And then my mom got me this skein of yarn in Arizona for my birthday.
I love the twist on it.
Yeah, it's gorge. So I put it on this little thing because I did also buy myself one of the Lemonwood. I should have brought it.
That little stand?
The little stand.
You have a picture for sure.
I can take one.
I was like, you sent me one, but it might have been through Snapchat.
Yeah. But so it's on this because it's been hanging by my chair to knit off of that, and I just haven't cast it on yet because I haven't been able to find any of my sock needles. I have found a few pairs today.
It's been an epic adventure for sock needles.
I know I own like literally at least 10.
At least 10.
And at least
had
10
when
magic
we first
loops.
started hanging out.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So I'm just going to get my life together this evening, hopefully. My whole life in one evening is the plan. It's going to be together by tomorrow.
I believe in you.
Zoloft is a magical thing. But
Sertraline.
yes, exactly.
Sertraline.
But I love this yarn, so it's an acquisition.
Sertraline.
Sertraline and Klonopin. Hysterical. I'm sure I've bought more stuff than that, but those are the ones I'm going to show you right now. So what'd you buy?
I bought this at Arkansas Yarn Co. I have 3 of these cappuccino skeins. She did this like kind of collaborative dyeing thing. She did a bunch of browns. This is like a Lori brown, so it's kind of a pinky brown.
Yeah, it is.
How do you make a pinky brown? Like
Lori.
This. Mm-hmm. But it's called cappuccino. And it is just a really soft fingering weight yarn. It's her Yummy Plush base, which is 85.15, and I'm going to make some sort of top with it, or possibly a JJ sweater, because I would only need this much for a JJ sweater. Maybe 2 JJ sweaters, because it's a really good neutral. Anyway, she did a collab with, who is that Alexa person with the beads, you know? It's like a beading lady. She does a lot of beaded stuff, and so Lori has a beaded sock and a beaded shawl, and it's all really pretty and very like light browny and peachy, and it's really pretty. Alexa Davidoff?
I feel like you're
Alexa Davidoff? Is that it? I might be making
I
shit
hope
up.
that's completely wrong.
It's probably
like,
wrong.
just so off the wall.
Yeah, her name's actually Craig.
Yeah.
Craig Sherman.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. It's definitely Alexa, but I don't remember. And then, so I bought that, and then Lindsay sent me this one, which is the Gritty Knits Time Bomb.
Olga sent me yarn for my birthday and a pair of socks.
460.
I meant to
don't
bring
even have that. Fingering weight, 75.25. Beautiful yarn. Really love that. Oh, I also bought the Christmas Eve cast on, and I have no idea where that is. Let's see. It might be over here. Hello? No, it's not. But I do have a stocking. Look at it. So cute. This is my baby's. Go JJ. But I don't know what I did with that yarn. It's cute though. Oh no, it's right there. It's pretty much for Grinchmas. I thought it was gonna be a little bit different because I saw the preview, the one that looks like Grinchmas.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna have more colors than green and pink, but it's green and pink. When I saw it in the store, I just thought it was like rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. I still love it. And then I have my full collection of Kimber's Cozy Creations DK weight, her year in color, and she's no longer doing subscriptions. So sorry about it. Apparently it's a lot of work.
I'm sure, yeah.
But yeah, so I have all of the colors. It's a rainbow, not a fade, but it's a rainbow.
I'm just gonna start ordering from Kimber once a month and call it a subscription.
Yeah, that's what you should do. Everyone should do it.
I really didn't buy much yarn last year, so this year I also, one of my New Year's resolutions is to buy more yarn.
I love that. It's the first year for you.
It is.
Buy more yarn. Look how pretty that is, though.
It's
and
gorgeous.
I think I'm gonna make a stripe pipe cardigan for myself with this, and maybe a little matching one for JJ because there's tons of it.
Oh my god, I love.
I keep saying I'm gonna do a matching one for JJ. I'm not gonna do a matching one for JJ. She grows so fast.
Yeah.
That bitch. Her shoes don't even fit.
Make
She
hers
needs all
like
new
an adult
shoes.
small. So
I
she
know,
can wear
right?
it for a long
I don't think I have
time.
enough to do my 2X and her adult small.
Oh darn.
But I could do like a little something.
A
you
kid
know?
small.
But yeah, so
Then
there's
she can
12
wear it
of
through
these.
elementary.
And I have all the
That's
little
better.
matching stitch markers. So cute.
That's the bun I wanted this whole podcast.
It's beautiful.
Now it's
Look at
working.
your hair, so long.
It is getting so long.
Okay. So there are 12 of these. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's great, and it's gonna be a stripe pipe. And I should have put that on my Make 9.
You can add it. Make 10.
No. No. Also, I don't need to knit socks anymore, but I love knitting socks.
I'm
And I have
knitting
so
socks.
many single weight sock yarns over there, like single sock yarn weights.
I want to knit a pair of socks for all my coworkers.
Do it.
I want to knit 17 pairs of socks for my coworkers.
That's easy. You've already done it.
For 2 of them specifically because they asked for them. And then one of my bosses, like day 1 when I was working there, I was like watching training videos and knitting, and he walked by and asked what I was doing. And I was like, oh, I'm knitting socks. And he's like, oh, my favorite color is blue. I'm a size 10. So I have tubes in blue yarn. And I'm like, I'm just going to cut apart tubes for him ASAP. Like, why haven't I done that yet?
Yeah.
Like, that's so cute. So I just want to knit socks for my coworkers.
Do it.
So dumb.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
Not all of them.
They'll love
just
it.
the ones I like.
They find the podcast. Oh, you don't like me? I don't like me?
I knit for all of them, and they're all just wondering who didn't get them.
Yeah. I love this. This is going to be
It's
so
really fun.
I also said I was going to knit JJ one of these too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need you to do some math. Because, you know,
I
I
can do
can't
that.
count to 9.
I can do the math.
So doing the math is not going to be fun or easy. So, yeah.
We'll talk about that. I'll write it down. For you.
Okay, let's see. That could be on your Make 9. Make Christen a pattern.
I like it. On my Make 9 is also make a cookbook for my brothers because they all keep asking.
So cute.
Because they ask me for recipes all the time, so I just need to make a
You
cookbook.
just need to make a cookbook template, and then you can give it to people who
I think
ask
I'm just
for your
going to
cooking all
make
the
like
time,
a
Christmas.
recipe template in Canva, and then I can plug in each recipe and like put it together as a...
You know, like your Christmassy recipes have to have like a Christmassy
Yeah,
theme.
absolutely. No,
Like a
they'll
little
be themed.
gingerbready.
And there'll be like a soup recipe template and a
Absolutely.
dinner and a lunch and a dessert and a breakfast and
birthday cake. And,
Yeah, exactly.
Adorable.
And it'll be like Ben's birthday cake and that's a key lime pie. Nick's birthday cake and that's a carrot cake. And like it'll be everybody, you know, their thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Do it. Absolutely.
It's on my Make 9 now.
My
My Make 9 not even knitting. It's go camping 9 times.
That's it for yarn.
That's it for yarn. Wow. Okay, books. Do we do books and then life or life and then books? Books and then life,
Let's
right?
do books and then life, because I feel like that's probably a better choice today.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all the yarny stuff for the most part. We're always talking about yarns, so there'll be bits and pieces. So thanks for hanging with us if you're just here for the yarny stuff. And we're going to talk about the shit we read all last year and in the last 3 months. And then we're going to talk about our personal lives. So you can hang around for those if you want or not, if you hate us.
Do you hate them?
If they don't care about our lives.
I mean, we
I'm
are
kidding.
watching you click out of the video right now. Don't click.
It hurts,
Click out.
but I understand.
Also, don't leave me comments. Okay.
Do people leave me comments?
Not in a long time, but, you know, just in case. I just want to tell people, just to remind them.
Yeah, I just delete. Actually, I mean back and then I delete them. Because I don't give
And
a
then we
shit.
call you out in public forums.
And then we talk about it
Yeah.
on the podcast for 6 months and tag you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
Write a letter to your mom.
Oh,
saying,
that's a good
How
idea.
did you raise your child?
I'm going to look up your property tax records if you leave me a mean comment. Okay. Books.
Books.
We're ridiculous.
Books.
In 2024, I read 160 books, which I'm really proud of. My original goal was 100, and I hit that way early in the year, and then I was like, okay, 150, and then I hit 160. So, love that. And since October 16th, I think we filmed on like the 15th or 16th, so I just jotted down what I finished since the 16th. I have read 25 books, And I'm just going to mention the ones that were 4 or 5 stars. So out of those 25, 0 Days by Ruth Ware was 4 stars. And The Lion Game by Ruth Ware, also 4 stars, was really in a Ruth Ware era. Watch Me Disappear by Janelle Brown, 5 stars apparently. Wish I could remember why.
Janelle Brown, that's like a, she's, Watch Me Disappear, wait, Janelle Brown. Janae Brown?
Janelle.
Who's the one that does the, hi honey, do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, so not her. It was a mystery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all thrillers. They're all thrillers. And then My Neighbor's Affair by Daniel Hurst was 4 stars. The Secrets We Buried by Becca Day, 4 stars. Really, really good. I really liked the Becca Day stuff I read. And then Long Time Gone by Charlie Donnelly was 4 stars. Everything I've read by Charlie Donnelly, amazing. I don't know if that's a man or a woman. Either way, you're a great author. And then I read The Block Party by Jamie Day, 4 stars. Those Empty Eyes by Charlie Donnelly, 4 stars. The Girl Who Was Taken by Charlie Donnelly, 4 stars. All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda, 4 stars. That might be 5. I still remember that. That was really good.
That was one that you could unfinish. Because it was in the Reese Witherspoon.
I went back and I loved it.
Club.
Yeah.
Because I told you I thought it was pretty good, and you were like, but I was like, but it's like a 3 stars, and then you liked it.
Yeah,
good.
And then I went back and I really enjoyed it.
That's so funny. Oh, because it's camping too. Not camping, but like wilderness.
Yeah,
woods.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then I read The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie. That girl whose mom is the 8 Passengers lady and is in jail now. 4 stars. That was a really good book. I did an Audible subscription because they had like a 99-cent a month thing, so I did it just to read that. And it was really good. And then The Arrangement by Kirsten Maudglin. I gave 5 stars just for the sense that it was like it was super short. It was like a 5-hour listen, like at regular speed, so like 2.5 hours for me. And it was wild. Like, it was all over the place. I was really confused most of the time, but in a good way, in the way that I want to be confused by a thriller. And at the end, my jaw dropped and dropped and dropped. Like, it was just bizarre. So, very good. I've recommended that to lots of people. And then I just finished The Summer She Went Missing by Chelsea Ichaso. My friend Haley recommended that. 4 stars. Was really good. It took me a little bit to get through it, just because I hadn't really had time, but it was really good. And then currently reading, I'm listening to Don't Go Down There by Kirsten Maudglin, same lady who wrote The Arrangement. And I'm reading on my Kindle Into the Fall by Tamara Miller. And I'm hoping to finish Into the Fall tonight because tomorrow Onyx Storms comes out. And I have the Kindle pre-order for that. It's tomorrow. Oh my gosh. And the Kindle pre-order is only $15 right now. It's half off. And the library hold on that's going to be insane. So I just bought it. But I'm going to start reading that tomorrow either way. So I'm excited for that one too.
I probably will wait till it's audio because I can't do it.
Yeah, you can do Audible.
Yeah, probably. Or do that Last FM thing. Not Last FM, but whatever it is for the Secret Nook.
Oh, yeah, the Libra FM. They have that at Paper Heart too.
Libra FM. Okay. I think. So we've talked about this. We mostly read thrillers and sometimes like a educate yourself kind of type of book.
Yeah. Like an autobiography, self-help.
Last year was rough. So my escapism has been porn.
Smut. Some call it.
Some call it smut. Some call it romance. I'm going to call it demon porn. And that's what it is.
We escape differently.
Yeah, we do escape. I mean, because my normal has always been thrillers. So my escape had to be something
wildly
else.
different.
Has
Absolutely.
to be different. But I did read 42 books since October 16th. And I'm reading 2 currently. And I have written down the ones that are important here, which are a lot of books.
4 or 5 stars, yeah.
4 or 5 stars, and then a couple series that I've read so many of them I had to mention them. Honorable mentions. Okay, so in November, October, election time, I was struggling mentally and decided to read Ice Planet Barbarians because I got a crush on a TikTok author. Well, she's not a TikTok author. She's an author that's on TikTok, and she does this series where she's talking about reading or describing romance novels to her husband and asking if he would read them. And she did one for Ice Planet Barbarians, and her description was so funny. I was like, I have to read that. And it is hilarious. And I listened to the audio, and it is pornography. And it is so silly and so ridiculous and so not, and like, there's no substance to it. It is just a silly little romp. And I enjoyed it. It was fun. I was like, yeah, Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't read the rest of the 20 books that are in that series. 20. Because the whole thing, remember the first one we talked about books? I was reading a book on an airplane that was like vampire porn, and I was like, this is disgusting. What the hell? No, I've changed my mind.
Yeah, no longer disgusted.
Yeah, but
we learn and we grow.
It is because of Indy Wright, who is, it's her pen name, it's not her real name. I have a crush on her, and I'm obsessed with everything she talks about, so I just read what she tells me to read, what she tells her husband to read.
Love it.
And that's what I'm doing. So, and she also writes, so she has a series called The Female, and it is the demon porn, aforementioned demon porn, and I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed. Like, the story is good, the porn is fine, like, it's not, I mean, it's kind of, I'm like, you look at this girl and I'm like, it can't be that bad. It can't be that, it's bad. I was like, lady, what's going on? She's like a mom, just like a little, like, Midwestern hair tucker, you know, like, hee hee. And I'm like, girl.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I'm very much enjoying it. So it's called The Female. It's demon porn. It's a reverse harem demon porn. So it's a lot of like multi-ways, and it's a lot of bisexualness, and it's a pansexual, whatever you want to call it. It's fun. I like it. Anyway, I'm on the second book. There's 4. I read The Return of Ellie Black, which is by Emiko Jean. I gave that, I think, 4 stars, and it is a thriller.
Okay.
I read that more recently, and then I reread Fourth Wing and Iron Flame.
Okay.
Listened to it, which those are long listens, and I'm just so excited for Onyx Storm. I don't think that the books are as good as I've rated them. I think I've given them 4 stars. They're not actually that good, but I'm intrigued. You know, like,
they are that good because of how they make you feel.
Yeah, if they're compelling.
Even Malika's reading them. Have I told you that?
Yes.
Malika's almost done with Iron
too,
Flame.
Right?
Yeah,
or you're talking
them.
Ben into them. Yeah, none of my family would read these books, but it's fine. I have you, so
yeah,
and Jennifer, and
absolutely,
it's fine.
I'm gonna start a text thread with you, Haley, me,
please.
Malachi to talk about Onyx Storm.
So yeah, I rate them 4 stars, but honestly, I understand that they're not that great.
They are that great.
Literarily.
My ratings are not, we've talked about this, my ratings are based on vibes. They're not based on the literary, like, I'm not, like, I don't care if it's like fucking Ernest Hemingway or whoever the fuck. Like,
I'm not gonna
I want to enjoy my book. And like, it is not that serious.
It isn't.
And I don't care if other people liked it or didn't like it. If the vibes were good and I enjoyed listening to it, that could be 5 stars.
Yeah.
Sometimes the vibes are good and I enjoyed it, and that's only 3. It's not that serious. Yeah. Nothing in my life is that serious.
I read The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. I liked that one. I think I gave it 4 stars. It's fine. It's not, again, it got me through something, I think. It got me through something. I read books 4 through 8 of The Woman's Murder Club by James Patterson, and I love that series. Yeah. And it is also not good.
Yeah.
But I love that series, and I didn't rate them highly. I think they got 3 stars, but I'm, like, excited to get into the groove of reading those again. I read books 8 to 17 of the Booktown Mystery series, which is a cozy mystery about a bookstore town, a town full of bookstores.
Cute.
And yeah, the owner of the mystery
town
bookstore,
where all the people are bookstores.
They're bookstore owners.
I'm kidding.
And the bookstore owner that owns the mystery bookshop solves all the murders in the small town.
As they should.
And I enjoy it. I told you, like, it's a little classist because everyone that they deem poor, they give a weird accent to. It's so funny. But that could be the narrator's choice, you know, not the author's choice. They haven't described it as a weird accent, just the narrator has done it, you know? Interesting.
Wow.
Anyway, I read Dead Connection by Alifair Burke. It's like it's the Ellie Hatcher mystery series, and it was the only one that was on audio, the first one. They don't have the next ones on audio, and I'm pissed because I don't want to read them. But I will if I have to, because I like the series and I gave it 4 stars. The Minders by John Mars. I really liked it. That's the one in the same universe as The One by John Mars, which I like that series. Everyone is Watching by Heather Gudenkoff. Heather Gudenkoff. I gave that one 4 stars, and I think I would do it again, even though I can barely remember how it ended. I remember the premise, and it was a good time, and I think you'd like it if you haven't read it. The Good Samaritan by John Mars. 4 stars. That one was a little depressing, but still. The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. Now that is a YA author. I'm not sure that's a YA book. I think it is, but it is, I've recommended it to several people, and everyone who's read it has liked it. I think it's going to be a Netflix movie.
Cute. Maybe repeat that in a second. I'm trying to add the Minders to my thing.
Yeah, The Minders by John Mars. Tender Beasts by Lizelle Samberg or Samberry. I don't know how I wrote that. That was good. That was really good. It was kind of like not magical realism, but like there's like some what would you call it? Like not sci-fi. What do you call it when it's like kind of like ghosts or like demons, like but it's not like fantasy.
Okay.
It's I guess magical realism is it, and it's a mystery too. It's good. I liked it. The Teacher by Frida McFadden. I gave that one 4 stars. It's the first book since the original Housemaid that I've actually rated highly. And I guess it's probably because I haven't read the counterpart that she ripped off. I don't know, but I really enjoyed it.
I have read the counterpart that she supposedly ripped off.
Did she do it on that one? I don't know if she did it on all of them.
But on the Housemaid ones, and they didn't feel ripped off. It just
I didn't read those.
It feels like the thriller genre has storylines that get repeated.
Okay,
it's
but
not
this
a big
one.
deal.
Okay, so let me tell you about this one at the end. So I reread Flowers in the Attic because it's been a really long time. I wanted to do it in the summer, I think, and I wanted to see if it held up. It's not as good as I remember, but it's still good. I still rated it 4 stars. That was like one of my like childhood like books. Like when I was like 11 or 12, and I was reading Flowers in the Attic series and all of the V.C. Andrews books. I was obsessed. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Anyway, it's not. A Talent for Murder by Peter Swanson. That is the 3rd one in the Killing type or the Killing kind of book. Did you read it, the 3rd one?
I think so, yeah.
It's really good. I think the last time I talked to you, you're like, I didn't know there was a 3rd one. But you might have read it since then because that was months ago.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
It's called A Talent for Murder. And I think it was my favorite one in the series, honestly. I think the 2nd one was really, really good. I think it just got better as it progressed. Which never is the case. It's never the case. But yeah, those were all the main ones that I read since October that kind of held my eye. So anyway, we were talking about The One by Frida McFadden, which is not The One. The Gift. Which is just the Gift of the Magi, but retold, but not well. Because she only did it for an hour, and she could have gone anywhere. She is a good writer. She is a compelling writer. She can, like, tell a story. And she just didn't. And it made me so mad that I rated it 1 star. Because she just didn't do it. But then I read, I read Verity by Colleen Hoover. And then I was reading, the one I'm reading currently by Frida McFadden is The Wife Upstairs.
Okay.
I think you liked that book.
Yeah.
It is exactly, like, scene for scene, Verity by Colleen Hoover.
Really?
It's insane. It's like, I already know what's going to happen because she just rewrote the book. And I'm just like...
And Verity came out first?
Verity came out years first.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so I was like, wait, I've already read this one. And I was like, well,
that makes me kind of want to read Verity just to see.
It was crazy. So I was like, you're going to read it and be like, well, I already read this one. And
yeah.
It's so weird. It was like such a deja vu feeling. And then I was like, no, I remember that one. It was a little bit darker, a little bit better. And that was, they're both the same. I'm still reading it, and I think I'll probably still rate it 3 stars because it's still a good story. It's just a different voice. But it is like literally like the very beginning. I was like, I already read this one. I'm rereading a book, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't. I did not read this one. It is the same book.
Fascinating.
And then when I read the reviews, everyone was like, okay, well, it's scene for scene the same book, but I still liked it,
Interesting.
Yeah, and you did not like Verity when you started it. And it could have been because you already hated Colleen Hoover.
Yeah, I'm a Coho hater. And it was also an audiobook, and it was a weird male narrator.
No, there's no male narrator in that one. So that
it was a different Colleen Hoover book. But like the Colleen Hoover book I started, I was not a fan of. It put me in fight or flight.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not the same one. But I mean, it's like, it's so similar.
I kind of
just want to
hear it and read the reviews.
It was so funny. I think that book wasn't that great either. Verity was not that great either. But I mean, it's so similar. I was like, how is she not in trouble?
I wonder if
how did she not get sued?
Yeah, interesting.
I think that she's just like, whatever. Like, what? I don't care.
Interesting.
But and maybe Colleen Hoover doesn't care. Maybe they're friends. Maybe who knows?
That would be crazy.
What if they were? Who knows?
Maybe they are.
I mean, I feel like authors, there's got to be like a small circle for like mystery thriller authors. Yeah. They all know each other. They party. They have weird group orgies. I'm reading too much demon porn.
Oh my god.
Anyway, if you haven't heard of Invie Wright, she's adorable. Her books are disgusting, and I love them. And she's already said, she addressed it, she's like, a couple of months ago, I would have told you that my books were 5 out of 5 chili peppers, so spicy. But I've been reading other authors, and not gonna lie, I've been put in my place. Just like, and I was like, oh, so you're not even as bad as it gets?
It gets crazy.
I was like, I don't even want to know.
Ask
I guess
Haley for
there's some like
recommendations
cannibalism
if you
and
want
shit.
crazy
yeah,
shit.
The cannibalism shit.
Yeah,
I'm
Haley
sure
reads the
she'll
crazy
have
shit.
read this and been like, yeah,
It's
that's
fine.
fine.
Yeah.
But she told me she doesn't really like magic. She doesn't like the not sci-fi, like, what do you call it? What do you call it? Like fantasy? Not, it's where it's not
Like
real. She
everything
likes
she
it
reads is-
realistic.
Oh, okay.
She likes she wants
Okay.
the realism, and I'm like, I want it to be completely fake. I want
Yeah.
the demon. I want
That's funny.
Yeah.
I thought hers was like demons and fairies and shit, but who knows?
Oh, maybe it was, what was your friend's name that was here?
Michelle?
Michelle. Who we were both all three talking about it, and I was like,
Mm.
oh, you guys like that nasty shit. And then I started reading that nasty
Yeah, you're like, oh, put me in my place.
shit. Anyway,
Any
those are books.
Those are books, and we read them.
Ugh, oh yeah, we have merch. I forgot about that. 3 stars. It's a book. I read it.
Yeah, we do have merch. We do.
Okay.
So, we want to talk about our lives. Buckle up. You want to go first? I don't.
I know. I mean, I guess like my life is just busy. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I have. It's busy. I mean,
Did you do anything fun for the holidays? It's been a long time.
it's been a long time.
You had a Christmas with a baby who was aware of Christmas.
Thanksgiving, Halloween. It was all fun. It was
Yeah.
all good. Halloween was really cute. She was a monkey. She's just cute. She was
really
trying to run
cute.
into people's houses, and
Iconic.
it was
She's
just
a robber.
Yeah, super sweet. And then, she's developing her personality and starting to talk so much more. And we're going through the terrible twos, even though she's only 20 months.
She's just advanced.
She's advanced. She is shrieking, like just when she doesn't get her way. And I'm like, that's not gonna fly. And I'm really trying to not gentle parent, but just like ignore the behaviors and like tell her that's not appropriate. And it's so hard. And so we did a timeout yesterday for her shrieking because she was already upset. And I'm like, I can't do anything. You're not calming down, so we're gonna do a timeout. And then she lost it because that meant being away from me, and it was horrible. But anyway, Christmas was fun. Thanksgiving was fun. I guess it's all a blur. Being a single mom is not. It's not easy. It's hard. It's harder than it looks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just tired all the time. And she is wonderful, and I love her, and she makes my life whole. Like, it feels better than before, but I'm also so tired. I feel like sometimes like you just get into this group where you're just exhausted all the time, and then you don't remember how hard it is.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
And
no, that's
so,
our body. Like,
everything's
like
just-
your mind does that. Like, after the hard times, like, you forget how hard it was, but that's, like, survival. Like, yeah.
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 So I think that, like, it's really fun watching her grow and change, and
she's growing so fast.
She's growing so fast.
So cool.
She's really smart. She's super active. Mm-hmm. She has a black eye right now because she had a fit inside of the tropical smoothie and smacked her eye on the corner of her table, and it's so close to her actual eyeball, and there's
scary.
like blood. Like, you could have lost your eye. And I start freaking out, thinking about that, and like, oh, I'm a bad mom. I let her hit her head, and then I'm just like, what could I have done? And I'm like, well, I could have hold her. You spiral, right? And so, I don't know. It's been a blur. My, it's literally just been my whole world for so long that, like, I don't even think about the other stuff that goes on anymore. Mm-hmm. And, it's tiring. I see a therapist. It's fine.
Yeah.
Sertraline. Me and Sertraline, we're homies.
We're just like that.
Yeah.
Me and Sertraline, too.
BFFs. I can't take Klonopin.
Oh my god, we've got the same script.
Same.
I need the Klonopin.
I can't take it until I stop breastfeeding.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm still doing. Almost 2 years strong. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm exhausted by that too. And there's really just no hope in changing it for now.
Yeah.
People are telling me to put like bitter apple on my boobs, and I'm like, that sounds awful. I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. My
this
grandpa's
too shall
sick.
pass, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he has bladder cancer, third bout and it spread, and they're basically like, well, you're old and like there you go, like, you know, like we can't really radiate you, we don't want to do any of this stuff, and they're out there, you know, kind of by themselves, so it's like we can't intervene, and like we want to get them to a different place, but they won't listen. And then my grandma thinks she's dating Elon Musk, so we're having so much fun with that. It's just, yeah, it's a wild time, man. This is like, my grandma is a very smart lady. She's a very active lady. She's technologically savvy. She's on Instagram and Snapchat. Mm-hmm. She's 84 years old, you know, like she should be fine, but she's obviously not. She's fell for an elder scam, and it's crazy, and it happens a lot, and it's been happening more and more. We know another friend whose mother-in-law's like that.
Like Shelton.
And then
it's fucking sad.
Jana's mom has fallen for one where it's like the TV one. They call and tell you like, oh, you have to pay your TV bill online, and then she just sends them money, and I'm just like, this is nuts. This is nuts. People are crazy. Leave old people alone.
That's awful.
Jesus Christ. Like, it's terrible.
That's awful.
So, yeah, it's just, you know.
Man.
But it's, life is lifing. It's been,
hard.
You know, we've just been dealing with life.
Yeah. On November 14th, my brother died. So that's what I've been dealing with. He had cancer. You guys, you know, I feel like you all know Nick. I feel like Nick knew you guys.
Yeah, he was one of you.
He was a friend of the pod, and he was really sick. And he was really sick for a long time, and it was really hard, and he's not sick anymore. And that's really hard too. And I'm in therapy, and I'm on medicine, and I'm taking care of myself, and I'm processing. And we moved my sister-in-law home, and she's back, so she's not far away. But I'm going through it. And yeah, so I don't really know. Like, just the thought of sitting down and filming a podcast
or
felt
anything,
insane. When it's like something he wasn't gonna see. When Nick, like, the moment we posted a podcast, he was watching it at work and making his coworkers watch it and commenting on it and texting me about it. And
just playing it on repeat in the background.
Nick was my biggest fan, and I was his biggest fan, and he was amazing. And, yeah.
And young, and
he fell, and he was in the ICU. From that, and then his kidneys shut down, and he was on dialysis, and he had a heart attack.
It was quite a roller coaster, because we got a call earlier in the day, right?
Yeah, that he was fine. That the doctors felt like
so
everything was going to be great.
He was going to come off dialysis.
He was going to come off dialysis. He was going to be able to start a trial, and then a couple hours later, so I've been through a lot of therapy. I'm going through a lot of therapy. I'm gonna be okay. I'm getting to be okay. But everything just feels wrong. And it probably will for a long time. So it just feels weird to do anything that I did before, but it also feels weird not to. Everything feels weird.
It's always gonna feel different. I know that well. And it's so easy to say, I'll be okay. You're never gonna be okay.
Yeah,
You'll always be different.
I'm never gonna be me again. I'm gonna be a new version of me, and I'm coming to terms with that. And it's just like every day I feel like it is getting a little easier and a little harder at the same time.
That is exactly the emotion.
Fine. And I'm doing okay with understanding that, like, whatever I have to do to process is okay, and like I'm not experiencing like a lot of guilt or beating myself up. I'm just getting through it, and I have incredible people around me, and an incredible family, and incredible friends, and I'm doing as good as I can be doing.
Amazingly strong person who's been through a lot of loss already, and so.
But this is the worst. This is the hardest thing I have ever been through, and probably ever will be through.
This it's tragic because of how young and strong
35
and determined he was. You know, like, I think he thought he had it too, especially in the beginning. Because I was I was like, I don't know if it was in denial or if I was just separated enough from it to just not understand, because you were always up and down emotionally. I was like, he's gonna get through this.
Yeah.
And I just knew it in my heart. It was not like a positive thing. Like,
I was less optimistic from the get-go. I was very involved in all of it. Y'all know. I've talked about Nick. Y'all have seen Nick. He was in all my vlogs. And
did he do when I was on maternity leave, did he do a podcast with you?
I don't remember.
I think you guys did.
Think he did. We at least talked about it.
Yeah.
I taught him how to crochet because he said he wanted to crochet something to be on the podcast. He was really bad at it. But
I just needed.
He had stage 4 melanoma.
Yeah.
And
it took him a long time to get staged correctly.
It took him a long time to go to the doctor.
But it took him a long time to get staged correctly because he was in the cancer center for a while and thought stage 2. Oh no, it's stage 3.
It was hard for them to figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
And it was hard on his body, and it was all hard. And right before Nick moved away for work 6 or 8 months ago now, and then he was almost in remission. With skin cancer, they want you to do a full year of chemo before they'll say you're in remission after. So he was kind of in that in-between stage where things were really looking up. And the doctor he started seeing was not great, and the care he got in Mobile was not great. His cancer metastasized into his bones and his kidneys and his lungs and his brain. And as soon as it metastasized, I knew. And everyone around me kept being like, no, there are trials, and he's gonna go to Houston. And I understand the optimism and the positivity, but that's, at that point we were buying time. And I would have loved to have bought more, but we didn't. And anyway, I'm not gonna go on about it forever, but
I wasn't taking it as I'm being positive. I just knew in my heart it was not going that way.
I wish.
And I was blindsided so much so, and I think that you had prepped yourself, and that if you hadn't, like, we would not be here today.
I think I had prepped myself, but I also think
you still had hope. Of course you did, you know.
Yeah.
But like,
it really knocked me on my ass.
For sure.
And it would be insane if it didn't for anybody. But it's been a really, really, really hard 2 months, and I know it's not getting easier anytime soon. But I'm glad to be here talking with you guys. Sorry you have to see me cry. Thankfully, I'm a pretty crier. But, you know, they say trauma makes me funnier. So buckle up, guys.
Yeah,
it's going to get wild. I loved my brother with my whole heart. I'll love him with my whole heart forever. And I love every single one of my friends and family that much too. And I'm really thankful for the people I have and the village that I have built for myself. I'm really incredibly thankful for it. And you guys are a part of that. And I'm really thankful for this and for this podcast having brought Christen and I so close and introducing us to other people and being a thing Nick and I got to share, because he fucking loved vlogging. He was obsessed. And I love that time and those memories. So, ugh. Gross. Cut it all out. Just delete that.
No, I can't do it.
So that's why you guys probably knew that. That's not a shocker. I've posted. So if you
I think
follow
a lot
me,
of people will not have known that.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of people that are not on Instagram.
That's true. Well, all I did was post on Instagram. And maybe I should have done more, but also I'm not telling myself should have anything. So whatever.
I think that now people are going to have a little answer to why we've been gone for 3 months and why it seems to have been radio silent over here. And that's, you know, and they're going to be fine with it and forgive us. And that's okay. Yeah. And we don't need their forgiveness if they don't. So.
Oh, yeah. I don't care.
Also, she's yatted now. She got like so many more tattoos.
I did get a lot of tattoos since we were last here. I got one for my brother. You want to see? Put my coffee down.
I was just looking at your Addie Jade one, and I was like, look at her.
That's my brother's handwriting. It says, love you always, Nick. And then I also do have, I've got several. What else I got? Well, you guys, I think you've seen all these. Maybe, I don't know if you've seen the Addie one. That's from my niece. And I got 2 on my legs. Yep. Got more booked. Yep, love a tattoo. Ink therapy always helps. And regular therapy. I do a lot of that.
Also
don't you worry. Yeah.
We're doing all the things.
Yeah, I took drugs before this just to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
So this is me sedated. I'm getting through it, and I'm sure you guys are going to be incredibly kind and supportive, and I'm already thankful for the love and support and messages I know I'll get and the comments I know I'll see. And if you say anything mean to me, I will hunt you down. So, like, this is just not the time.
Now's the time for back pats, and we love you, and we've missed you, and
I've missed y'all.
Show us your boobs.
Oh, okay, cool.
Or show us your boobs. If you can.
Silly.
If you want to. Don't do it if you don't want to.
You're ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Okay, now that I've sobbed on the internet.
Show us your boobs.
Oh man.
But
that's life though, folks.
Are you okay that we did this?
I'm okay that we did this.
Okay. I had to talk her into it.
Well, we talked about it.
Yeah.
I
wanted to make
had
sure
missed
it was okay.
I just
I
think it's been an appropriate amount of time that I was ready and that I can talk about it without shutting down. And
I was worried that I had pushed her too much because I was like, I miss it and I want to
hang
out with you like this.
Yeah, I know.
I want to hang out with you on camera.
Right? I don't want to hang out with you at all. No, I'm good. I am not the type to do something I don't want to do. So I would have said no if I couldn't. Even if we had gotten here and set up, I would have bailed out if I needed to.
Let's just cuddle.
Cut the camera.
Keep it rolling.
No, I'm good. I'm processing what I can process and just I am figuring out who the new me is. Mm-hmm. And she's gonna be okay. She's gonna track her knitting better next year. That's a good one too. It just keeps getting loose.
What's going on?
I'm gonna track my reading better. I'm pretty good at tracking my reading. I want to read more on my Kindle. That's another New Year's resolution for me. I want to buy more yarn, read more on my Kindle, and get more tattoos. Those are my New Year's resolutions.
I love this. I mean, that just makes you a cooler person.
I'm going on a cruise with Yo-Yo.
Woo!
We always talked about going on a cruise.
Where are you going?
When Nick beat his cancer. Yeah, so we're gonna go. We haven't booked anything yet. We're still kind of looking. And then I'm going to Disney in September. Did I tell you that?
Awesome. No.
Yeah.
Florida or where?
Florida with Malachi and Daisha and Addie and Buddy. We're taking a big Disney trip and we're going to go do all the things because Malachi and I have never been. So we're going to take Addie for her first time and Buddy and Daisha have both been. So they'll show us the ropes.
I almost went today because that's where my mom is. And I was going to go this week, but I was like, I can't bring JJ to a work meeting.
You could have.
I can't do it, especially because she's so
You could have brought my mom with you. Just fun her out there.
Just right? Just pay for an extra ticket, an extra Disneyland.
Whatever.
Yeah. When JJ's free.
Yeah, perfect. Balance. So I'm doing that in September and that'll be the first time I've been to Disney and I'm excited about that. And yeah, I'm just prioritizing spending as much time as I can with all of my brothers now. I did that to begin with. Very involved.
Think it's
I'm
really
a very involved sister.
Amazing how they picked it up, you know, because Nick was your counterpart in your family. You know, you guys were the doers and the shakers and the make it happeners, and so I'm sorry.
Yeah, can't talk anymore. I'm good.
Okay.
It's fine. I'm good.
We're done. We hope you enjoyed this. Did you cry? Leave a comment. If you cry, put a little crying face. If you leave a little crying face.
Who cried the most? I'll send you a prize.
So put how many crying faces you did.
How many tissues
in the comments, and we will draw a contest winner, and you win a vial of Maddie's tears.
Shut up.
I'll put in some hair too. You can clone her. Get you a Maddie today for free.
You don't want it. You don't want one.
You do. It's so fun. It's so fine.
Oh, God. Love you guys. Okay, bye.